Good morning. My name is Ken Wolf, and I'm one of the founders of Revelstone, and I'm going to talk to you today about performance analytics. So yesterday we had some really interesting conversations about data-driven decision making, and we were talking about crime data, and we were talking about restaurant grease and things like that. So I'm going to sort of bring us up out of the weeds a little bit. It's more of a sort of 10,000-foot view, and talk about performance analytics from more of a management and strategic perspective. So let me start by talking a little bit about some of the municipalities that we're working with. So this is the city of Wyoming, Ohio. Ohio this year cut state funding to all of its municipalities by 25%, and next year it's going to be 50%. So Wyoming realized that they have to figure out ways that they can do more with less. How are they going to perform better in this type of environment without cutting services outright? This is the borough of Princeton, New Jersey, where it's the home of Princeton University. And this is Princeton Township, which actually surrounds the borough and is a different entity. And after about 20 years of deliberation, the recent recession has finally driven them to make the decision to consolidate into one. So they're trying to figure out, how are we going to be sure that we're gaining the efficiencies that we expect from the consolidation? How can we ensure that service quality won't suffer and affect our citizens, that kind of thing. They have to figure out a way to measure as they move forward. Woodbridge, New Jersey is a community of about 100,000 people, and they just recently added a miniature golf course to their ever-expanding recreational center. They're trying to figure out ways to drive additional revenue from that recreational center because their tax base in the state of New Jersey is capped, and they have to find other ways to find sources of revenue. So all of these cities are facing something in common. Times are tough, and they have to figure out ways to perform better. We really don't have a choice anymore. So let's talk a little bit about our product and what it does. So our product, Compass, is an online SaaS-based performance analytics platform that gives you a dashboard of visibility into what's going on within your organization. So it comes sort of out of the box with capabilities that are designed for local government, really easy to get started. We start with a predefined catalog of measures in all the different sort of operational areas and departments of running a town or city. And yesterday we talked about our favorite example, which is potholes. Everybody seems to be obsessed with potholes. The comment yesterday was about how many potholes did we fill last week, which is really just an output measure. It doesn't really tell you much. It tells you that you're busy. Look how busy we are filling potholes. But it doesn't really tell you, how well are we doing and are we efficient? And we want to focus on measures that matter to citizens, measures like measures of efficiency and effectiveness and outcomes and those kinds of things. So we help with guidance in determining what to measure. What is the average cost of filling a pothole? How long does it take to clear the streets of snow after a major snowstorm? Those kinds of things that really matter. That's the kind of stuff we're really focusing on. Of course, we have the ability to capture data from your various sources and bring it into the system, setting goals and targets, creating all sorts of views and dashboards and ways to do the analysis on the data and the information, and the guidance to help you put a performance management process in place. And all of this helps you answer the question, how are we doing? But real performance leaders are focused on where can we be doing better and how can we improve. So that's where the really cool part comes into play. Here we have the ability to identify and find your peers. Now, we did a lot of research and we talked to a lot of city managers and mayors before we started all this, and the one common theme we heard was, we're unique. We're not like everybody else. So we have focused a lot of our energy on figuring out the ways we can address that problem of we're unique. So we provide the ability for you to select the peers that you want to compare yourself to based on demographics and service delivery characteristics, how they deliver services. So you can find the peers that are actually like you. So the first step is finding your peers. Then you might want to measure your performance against those peers. We call that benchmarking. And you may want to see how you rank relative to the others in your peer group. If you're a top performer, you might want to share a best practice. If you're not a top performer, you might want to learn from someone else's best practice, or maybe initiate a discussion group or engage in a discussion group about a data-driven topic. And that we call peer learning. So in conclusion, performance analytics becomes performance management when you make this an ongoing management process within your organization and you focus on the change in culture. The old adage, if it doesn't get measured, it doesn't get done, is really true. If you focus on these things, you will be able to change the culture in your organization. And this is all also about the power of community, the power of the individual, which becomes exponential when you expand to the whole community. And we're building a community, and that's what gets really interesting. Imagine if every city had just one improvement to share, one best practice to share. I'm joined here at the summit by two of my colleagues, Mark Nelson and Jamie Taylor. If you want to become a performance leader, please come find us. If you're already doing this and you want to get your neighbors involved so you can kind of compare and learn from each other, also come find us. Let's figure out how we can improve our communities one improvement at a time. Thank you.